Ashley Fiolek is a motocross racing sensation. After winning all the big amateur races, she turned pro in 2007, won the AMA Series Championship in 2008, and in a big 2009, Ashley won the first WMX Series Championship, took home an X Games gold, and became the first woman to race for a factory team when she signed with Honda. She also wrote a book, Not Bad for a Deaf Girl. You wrote a book. You put a lot of work into your book. You went all the way back to your earliest days riding a bike.
Yeah, I was like 3 when I started riding, and the book like kind of talked about that, since had me growing up and through my racing and all that. So it went back way back.
And your dad encouraged you when you were younger to ride?
Yes, my dad. He used to race himself, and his dad raced too. So when he was born, my dad wanted to bring me to the races and all that. And I think I went to a race when I was like 3, and I just loved it. And I wanted to start racing myself. So they bought me a little PW motorcycle, and I started racing. So my dad really encouraged me to race and ride.
And then he became your coach.
Yes, my dad is my coach. I think, it's the best thing for me, because for communication I have a problem. I've tried other coaches, but it just never really worked out. My mom or dad always had to be there to interpret, so I think it was like better to have my dad, although we do have issues too with him being my dad and my coach.
As you became more competitive and started, learning that you wanted to win and not just ride, did you find other people to help you coach? And compared to your dad, how were they?
I love to win, I desire to win. I don't like to lose. It's the worst feeling, so I want to become better. I worked with a few different coaches. It was hard, there's no communication.
A lot of people, when they hear that you're deaf, think that because you're deaf, your other senses compensate for some of the perceptual processes. So do you think that's helped you at all?
Yeah, I think maybe so, like my vision, my visual things I depend on those a lot of things, I'm more focused, I think, maybe than other people, because that's another sense maybe I use more, because I can't hear sounds around me, so, I'm more focused. But, like there's other things going on too, like I have to hold my line, I can't move over, because I have to make sure people aren't behind me and I don't know they're there. And
you're a very big advocate for women in motocross racing.
Yeah, I've tried. It's kind of been mine and my family's goals. We've seen a lot of things that weren't the same for girls. There's still a lot of improvements need to be made, but I think with all of us girls working together, we can make the changes.
There was a whole issue over where the women would park and what time they would ride and whether they would get TV coverage, and you made quite a stand on that.
Yeah, we used to park way back out of the pits before, and we weren't allowed to park by the boys, and we would walk, it seemed like forever. We were like stuck in a field, and I was like, me and my family were complaining all the time, and now we park with everybody. And like the girls used to have to do a moto on Saturday, and then another one on Sunday, and all the boys raced on Sunday. The pay's not the same. And we had TV last year, but now there's no TV again this year, so that's another thing we have to fight again for next year. Women in a lot of sports, especially male-dominated sports, have to fight all the time for things like that. So it's just something that's a big struggle you have to continue to fight with.
Okay, so you became the first woman factory rider for Honda. What was that like?
Yes, it was amazing. One of my biggest achievements in my life. I always looked up to all the Honda riders like Davey and Andrew Short and all them. I just thought it was so cool that they were part of that team. And then when they came and approached me, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that they wanted me to be part of the team. It was just like one of the best feelings. It's just incredible.
And, do you have much time for a social life and finding boyfriends to meet on the road like that, or?
Oh, I don't have a boyfriend.
But you have had it over time.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Actually, me and Trey Kennard, one of the racers, we used to date, but that was a while ago. Now we just kind of hang around. Guys are kind of hard to understand. I have a lot of guy friends, and we go out and date and stuff like that, but it's just easier. I just try to focus on Honda and the team. I try to think of my bike as my boyfriend.
Now, you have a very intense rivalry going with Jessica Patterson. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Jessica and what it's like racing with her.
Yeah, Jessica, JP, she's an amazing rider. It's actually fun to race against her. We don't know each other really off the track. We don't really talk. It's not that we don't like each other. It's just kind of the way it is. I mean, we tell each other good job, but we don't, we're not really friends.
But you're friends with the other riders, most of the other women.
Yeah, I'm friends with most everyone else. I think Jessica's just kind of a quiet person, and she just you know, when she's done racing, she kind of goes off the track, and it's not that we don't like each other, but me and the other girls, we kind of hang out after the track and, you know, go out and do different things. But Jessica just, you know, her and Eddie Ray they're together at the track, and we just never really had a chance to have a relationship, I guess. But there's nothing bitter between us.
At the end of the 2010 season, Jessica had beaten Ashley by 22 points. We'll see what happens next year.